Hello guys, today we are going to read the Blender 2.79 changelogs. This was the last version of Blender 2.7 serie. So this is the ultimate version of that Blender. So let's read. Here we can see the Agent 3 to 7, the short film movie by Blender. So here is the changelogs, denoiser, PBR shader, shadow catcher, filmic color management, faster AMD OpenCL over 700 bug fixed, and much more. Let's go in detail. Denoise. Get rid of render noise while preserving visual detail as well as possible. Same render type, buttery smooth. So here we can see the difference. Here is without the denoiser and here after the denoiser. Very nice. Filmic color management. A new filmic view transform has been added for more photorealistic results and better handling of high dynamic range. So this is without filmic and this is with filmic. Very good. Okay, PBR shader. Based on the Disney model, the principal BSDF is now surface shader node, combining multiple layers into a single easy to use node. Yeah, that was very big. Okay, faster OpenCL. Blender 2.79 features much faster AMD OpenCL rendering and feature parity with NVIDIA CUDA, including support for subsurface scattering, volumetrics, and optimized transparent shadows. This was very big for AMD. Back then, a lot of problems with AMD cards. Shadow catcher. Combine CGI elements with real-life footage easily with the new shadow catcher feature for cyclists. Any object in the scene can be a shadow catcher, controlled by the shadow catcher option in the object settings. This option will make the object only receive shadows in a way that it could be composite onto another image. That was very cool feature. More cyclist improvements. Shaders compilation is now multi-threaded. A new light sampling threshold feature was added. Speed ups up to 20% for CPUs that supports VX2. Brick textures have now smoothing and a long-awaited feature. Texture coordinates for point, spot, and area lamps. Very nice. Modeling and modifiers. Let's see. New modifier, surface deform, transfers motion from another mesh. Oh, that was very powerful. Plus a whole bunch of updates. Some of them are displace modifier, multi-threading support, and new global local space option for XYZ directions. Mirror modifier and offset for mirrored UVs. Mesh intersect has a new cut separate mode, keeping each side of the intersection separate without splitting faces in half. Cool, very cool. New tool to set custom normals from selected faces, improved center of mass calculation for mesh senders. Let's go into the animation. Graph editor, channels can now be pinned. Top sheet background color for bone channels is now inherited from the bone group color. Top sheet curve normalization now ignores handles, effectively normalizing curves better. Very nice. Motion paths can now have custom color and thickness. Pose library reordering and keying for selected bones only. better undo for frame changes, and various small new tools and options. Grease pencil. New tools for interpolating between grease pencil frames, per layer onion skinning and black frame tool, and UI improvements. Okay. Numpad keys now work when doing sculpt sessions. Operator to add a blank frame. Reproject strokes option to project strokes onto geometry. UI improvements. Now let's go into the user interface. Application templates to define a reusable configuration. Automatic scaling for high DPI displays on Windows and Linux. Image empties now support multi-view stereo. Reorganized sequencer and UI UV editor panels. Custom shortcuts for keyframing and drivers. More tooltips now show the reason why the button is disabled. Add-on duplicates warning now includes paths. Lot of small improvements. Alembic's import and export has been greatly improved both in compatibility and stability. New supported features include export of linked duplicate groups, subframe sampling, phase varying, vertex colors, child hairs and empties. Python API, custom properties pointing to data blocks like objects or materials. Render engine add-ons can now add custom render passes, inserting custom items in right-click menus. Add-ons Blender 2.79 packs a bunch of new add-ons that greatly expand Blender's functionality, allowing you to create architectural environments using parametric windows and walls to make beautiful skies or even meta rigs to animate cats and horses. Very good. More features. Nice. Video encoding settings have been simplified along with the addition of constant rate factor CRF mode. Viewport support for object info, layer weight and Fresnel shading nodes. Open Subdivision now supports multiple materials, drawing in cyclist textured view. Duplicate particle systems. Rigged body physics support for rotational springs with stiffness and damping. Collada improvements, freestyle improvements. Here we have some compatibility warning due to various issues with drivers for AMD GCM 1.0 architecture. Those cards are no longer supported for cyclist rendering. When using add-ons in Blender 2.79 that take advantage of the new data block pointer properties, the resulting blend files can't be opened in earlier versions of Blender. Okay. Some interface themes may need to be reloaded to work properly. The text color contained in layout box is now defined in user preferences themes, user preferences box section. Okay. Rig compatibility changes to IK snapping may affect the rigs that use non-uniform IK scaling. Turning 2.78 serie, IK snapping was partly broken. This has been fixed for Blender 2.79. Rigs created in Blender 2.78 may not be compatible with 2.79. Rigs created in Blender 2.77 may still work. When using this add-on Rigify, please note, compatibility is broken for this release. There is no guarantee rigs created in previous Blender versions will work correctly. Rigs created in Blender 2.78 may not be compatible with 2.79. Rigs created in Blender 2.77 may still work. Save your work before attempting upgrading your rigs. Bug fixes. This fix itself huge amount of bug fixes. That was the final Blender 2.7 release. So that was for today. I'm planning to make a rigging tutorial, character rigging tutorial. So it will be very complex one, okay, with multiple layers of bones and functionalities. So you guys get ready. Bye.